Brittanee Drexel was a 17-year-old high school student from Rochester, New York. She had traveled with friends to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for spring break in April 2009. Brittanee's trip started out like any other typical teenager's vacation, full of excitement, anticipation, and the freedom that comes with being away from home. But by the end of her trip, she would become the center of a tragic mystery that would go unsolved for years. On the evening of April 25, 2009, Brittanee left her hotel room to meet up with friends, but she was never seen again. The last time she was captured on video surveillance was around 8:00 p.m. when she was seen walking near a hotel. Her disappearance quickly became a national news story, as there were no signs of foul play at the time, and it appeared as though Brittanee had just vanished into thin air. Investigators began to piece together clues from various surveillance cameras, but the trail was quickly running cold. However, a breakthrough came in 2016 when Raymond Moody, a convicted sex offender with ties to Myrtle Beach, was named as a suspect. At the time, Moody was serving a prison sentence for unrelated crimes, but he had previously been investigated for potential involvement in Brittanee's case. For years, investigators followed various leads, but it wasn't until 2019 that the authorities were able to make a major breakthrough. That year, they announced they had located Brittanee's remains in a wooded area of Georgetown County, South Carolina, a location about 35 miles from Myrtle Beach. DNA testing confirmed that the remains were indeed Brittanee's, and she had died as a result of blunt force trauma. In 2021, after years of legal proceedings, Raymond Moody was arrested and charged with kidnapping and murder in connection with Brittanee's death. He had been linked to the crime through DNA evidence, and investigators believed that Brittanee had been abducted and held captive before being killed. Moody, who had been a key figure in the investigation for several years, had previously denied any involvement in Brittanee's death. However, new evidence and his prior convictions led to his arrest. During the investigation, authorities learned that Moody had a history of violent crimes, including sexual assault and other violent offenses, which had raised suspicions about his possible involvement in the case. The charges against Raymond Moody marked a major step forward for Brittanee's family, who had spent over a decade seeking justice for their daughter. They had lived with the uncertainty of not knowing what had happened to Brittanee for years, but they finally had some answers, although it was far from the closure they had hoped for. The tragic case of Brittanee Drexel brought attention to the importance of keeping cases like hers in the public eye, even when evidence appears to be scarce. For over a decade, the search for Brittanee was a haunting reminder of the mysteries that remain unsolved in the world. It also highlighted the significance of DNA technology and its role in solving cold cases, as advancements in forensic science helped to crack the case open years after the crime was committed. As of now, Raymond Moody faces charges of kidnapping and murder and is awaiting trial. Brittanee's family continues to mourn their loss, but they have found some solace in the fact that her killer has been identified, and justice is slowly moving forward.